Welcome, Scorpio and Scorpio cross watchers, to your full moon, almost said new moon, full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, which is happening on the 28th of October. Well, crap. Sorry. So the full moon talks about illumination and things coming to light, and we literally have a full moon with the Seven of Swords here. So, Scorpio, let's dig into this. What does Scorpio know about the situation? What does Scorpio not know? And what do they need to move towards? Interesting. So Scorpio, sorry, I just realized I did that right into the mic. The Seven of Swords usually talks about, betrayal, deceit, lies, cheating. It's all of that kind of wrapped up into a, gross ball. Sorry for laughing. I feel like it's maybe a bit more serious read. I feel like Scorpio, somebody got away with something here. It's almost like someone may have, for lack of a better phrase, like picked off the bone. You know what I mean? It feels like somebody here was obviously taking things that didn't belong to them, but they seem to feel that it was for a noble purpose. And it's almost like this person, this is what it feels like. Let's say, for example, you own a bakery. Sorry, I'm just realizing you can't see those. You own a bakery and somebody here does not have enough money to buy bread for their family. So they stole bread for their family. And like, they would do something different if they could. But at this point, to them, you may not see it this way, but to them, this is about survival. That's kind of what I'm picking up from this person. Usually, honestly, with the Seven of Swords, you don't get this many cards that are more about happiness and freedom and new beginnings and that sort of stuff. So I feel like someone is going to be, I'm almost hearing like racked with guilt. It feels like someone is about to realize exactly what happened here. And I feel like, going back to that analogy, whoever it is that stole the bread from you, I feel like they're about to see why. I almost said like why you freaked out so much. I stopped myself because it sounded strange, but it's almost like this person may look at you like you have 40 loaves in the store. Why do you need this one loaf? It's not that big of a deal, right? Not that it's okay that they're stealing, but they're kind of saying like, does it really need to be that big of a deal? And I feel like this person is about to run into the reason as to why it was so important that what they did shouldn't have happened or wasn't supposed to happen. Do you know what I'm saying? So, here's what I'm seeing, okay? I feel like, I don't know why the whole reading is turning towards this person, but it is. I feel like somebody here is about to have the proverbial, like, coming to the light, I'm not trying to be any type of way, but it's like their come to Jesus moment, if you will, right? I don't know how else to say that without singling out a religion, right? I'm not trying to be rude. I just don't know how else to describe it. So I feel like with this here that it's almost like this person may run away from healing the situation. And it feels more that it's like they kind of can't face what they did. And what's interesting is I actually feel like you're going to be restored. You're going to be, it's almost like you actually may end up turning out better than you were before the whole situation happened. From what I'm seeing, though, it feels like there may be, it's almost like this might sound strange, because you don't have enough time to process like the frustration and anger and sadness and all that sort of, it's like because you don't have enough time to process all of those emotions by the time this other sweeping change comes in, it's like this person takes something from you that starts this cascade effect for things to kind of go on the upswing for you. And I feel like there's so much moving at once that in the moment, it's almost like you may not, sorry, just a second. In the moment, you may not actually be able to like fully appreciate what the positive or like how well things have turned out, if that makes sense. It's this energy of like, you end up being like, oh, I'm really glad that this is how things happened. Or sorry, I'm just actually going to turn the like put my phone on airplane mode because someone keeps texting me and it's not going to work for me while I'm trying to read for you guys. Okay, better. So, excuse me. I feel like you are, it's this energy of you're really happy to be where you are, but there is a lot of, it just feels like the loss that you experienced was unfair. You know, sometimes like you lose this, you know, you lose one, you get two more. I feel like whatever it was that was lost for you was big. I feel like it had a big impact. I feel like it was deeply, deeply hurtful, right? Because it's almost like going back to that analogy, it's like not only were you hurt, but somebody here is trying to act like there's no reason for you to be hurt in the first place, right? It's like, it's almost like me saying to somebody like, hey, I'm going to stomp on your foot, but because it's only your toe, it's only your foot, you know, it's not going to hurt. Well, yes, it will. The other thing I'm kind of feeling here, Scorpio, is that because things turn out so well, you may feel like there are people in your life that you have a hard time talking to, like being honest about how you're feeling, because people are looking at you like, well, yeah, you lost that, but look at what you got, right? It's like, who's there to help you? Not that you need them, right? Necessarily to process it, but like, who's there to hold space for you while you acknowledge that what happened was like life-changing, transformational difficulty. Like it just is what it is. And it's like everybody wants to focus on all of the good stuff because they weren't there. And this may be because, you know, if you're not very open with people when you're going through a tough time, it's not your fault, of course, that people aren't being sensitive to what you're going through. But it's like if people don't know the depths of your sorrow, then they don't know, right? So can we get a clarifier for this star? I feel like in your kind of zest, if you will, to call attention to the fact that you've kind of got mucked about here, screwed over, let's say, I feel like you are, it's almost like it'll feel like you're yelling at the top of your lungs, but it's falling on deaf ears, left, right, and center, right? Like people aren't paying attention to it. And there seems to be something, it's like, almost like you know that there's something about yourself that's transforming within this whole thing. But I feel like there isn't a lot of clarity about what is actually transforming, if that makes sense, right? It's like you're evolving to the next stage of something, but it feels like it's like you're just in the middle of that turning, right? It hasn't come all the way up yet. What does Scorpio need to know about that? So, and then Queen of Pentacles, Scorpio, what I'm seeing here is you're actually going to be really glad that you advocated for yourself. You know what I mean? I feel like it's going to be something that you can be proud of down the line. Not that you're, you know, rude or obtrusive, not that you would be, right? But it just feels like however you conduct yourself right now, you're standing up for yourself, right? Like you're sticking up for yourself. You're willing to kind of fight for yourself. And I feel like there's this energy that it almost kind of makes you unstoppable, because not that you were waiting around for other people to take up for you anyway, but it may have been something that you kind of leaned on or was kind of a driving force. And now, like, God help the person that tries to do it now, because none of that is necessary. That might not be for everybody. Just so, what is this that Scorpio doesn't know? This Sun card. Scorpio, I feel like there's somebody here that is in competition with you. And it feels like the energy of, sorry, I probably just swallowed really loudly. I had a bran cookie. Sorry. Anyway, I feel like this person is constantly in competition with you. I feel like this is somebody that is always trying to rub their accomplishments in your face, and it's like they want to show you up. And let's say, for example, you show up with 10 cookies, they show up with 20, and it's like they just have something to say about the fact that you only have to, like, oh, well, I'm at 20, right? Like, what's interesting is that it doesn't actually feel like this is anything. I mean, it feels like you don't really have any use for this person. Not to be, crappy to them. Okay, I'm sure they've got their own stuff going on, but this reading's for you. So it feels like this person being annoying may grind your gears, if you will, more than normal, right? Because you're trying to stand up and have people pay attention to what you're saying. And here's this one just kind of prattling, almost kind of giving off this, it's like a white noise effect, right? Like they're just distracting, right? And I feel like if you kind of confront this person, let's say, for example, you're kind of up on your soapbox, not in a negative way, but you're just up on your soapbox and you're trying to get people's attention to do something. And this one comes along and they're trying to do the same thing, but they don't have a soapbox. So they're yelling louder and they're being more theatrical about it. And it's like, and you would turn to them and be like, shut up, or go pick another park to do this at. Go away. And it's almost like they're going to have the audacity. I'm getting indignant for you. I feel like this person looks at you like, what are you even talking about? It's almost like they thought that they've been concealing their, competition with you so well that, like, how could you possibly know that that's what they're doing? And they're going to be like, oh my, what are you even, you can't see me, but it's this kind of like, oh my God, what are you even talking about? Da, da, da. Right? Like, excuse me. I'm catching an attitude. I'm sorry, guys. I'll try to bring it back down. So this person, it's almost like they're going to bask in the glory of feeling like they've finally gotten under your skin. Yikes. And I feel like there may be that little moment between the two of you, but then it kind of goes right back to you not caring about what they're doing. So it's almost like there may be this moment, this person feels like they're a little bit borderline obsessed with you, okay? Because it's like this will all happen, and then they're going to come in and kind of, excuse me, and talk about it and be like, oh my God, can you believe Scorpio said that? Have I been doing that? Is that what I've been doing? Oh, I hope they don't think that, right? Like, come on. Sorry, again, I have a crap attitude. I'm sorry. So, what about this Nine of Cups? I feel like you're moving towards something. It feels like there's something. Oh my gosh, look at that. Knight of Cups and Page of Cups. I feel like you are about to get the attention of, or have something turn around that it's almost like you had put a pin in it, right? It feels like whatever it is, it is something that you wanted originally, and maybe you do still want that thing, but it's like getting this thing to turn around actually seems to bring something else in that's like I want to say that it's like a fringe benefit, right? It's like, this is a nice cloud and this is the silver lining to that cloud. I know that sounds strange, but you know what I mean. And what's interesting is that it actually starts to flip as you move forward, because what you thought was a fringe benefit of what you've done actually ends up being much more impactful than the actual thing that turns around, if that makes sense. Which it may not. I feel like I'm talking in circles. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Okay. Nope. So, what else about this Nine of Cups? Four of Swords. Here's what's interesting. It feels like whatever approach... Oh, yeah, there's the Ace of Pentacles. Two of Cups. Woo! So, listen to me. Oh my gosh. I sound like a... Okay. I am a bit all over the place. I'm sorry. I'll try to rein it in. From what I'm seeing, Scorpio, I feel like whatever you have been doing to get a hold or kind of get attention to, like trying to stand up for yourself, it feels like you have to find a different way to do that in this situation. However it is that you are getting the attention of this situation, it's almost like you may be over there up on your soapbox, but this person doesn't turn around until somebody else, because they've got their back to you, until somebody else taps them on the shoulder and says like, hey, turn around, look at this. It feels like however this happens, it's like it's completely out of your control, which is, this might sound strange, but it's like there's nothing that you can do, say, have, be intentionally to make this happen, if that makes sense. That may be a little bit annoying. And for those of you that do find it annoying that there's no way for you to kind of bring that about, I feel like if you want to look at it a little bit differently, that actually frees you up, right? Because the onus is no longer on you. You can just keep doing what you're doing, focusing on what you're focusing on, and this is going to have to come in on its own. So we are going to pull from a different deck. I've been pulling this deck out a little bit for these reads. It is one of my favorite. It's not in that drawer. I am so sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm such I don't know why I'm all over the place for your read. Anyway, what does... Hold on for a sec. What's Scorpio working towards? King of Cups, Two of Earth. And what's some advice? So, wow, lots of court cards here. We have the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Advice is Nine of Wands and Emperor. What you're working towards here, I mean, you probably are working towards this all the time, but I feel like number one, you're working towards a better version of you. And it's almost like you may be working towards a version of you that is more impactful because... Now, let me make this perfectly clear. I'm not trying to, dog on anybody, so to speak. I hope that's the right term. But sometimes Scorpios can be a little intense, right? Especially with a moon in Scorpio, because they seek out emotional intensity as part of like that placement. And I feel like there's something about the way that you learn to cultivate your passion here that it's like people that may have found you to be a little bit, it's like that kind of like dark and alluring and very mysterious sort of thing. It's like a lot more people seem to be able to relate to you, and people that may have been intimidated by that energy in the past, they seem to be seeing you in a new light. And what's interesting is that it's like maybe people are seeing you in a new light because your energy is presenting a little bit different externally, but internally, just going back, it's just an example, right? It may not be for everybody, but the emotional intensity, it's just to describe the energy. So just going back to that example, the emotional intensity that you are looking for, it's not gone. The ability and the, because not everybody is equipped to handle that. So it's like you haven't lost that. You've just added this other part of your personality that, and it's not like you're masking yourself. It just feels like other people feel very differently about you, even though that very deepest, we'll call it a deepest desire, that very deepest longing hasn't changed, or the capability of having that, right? It just feels like all of a sudden it's coming out a lot easier for other people to handle. And what's interesting is it's almost like it's a natural change. You won't even notice it. It's just all of a sudden you'll notice people, a lot of people want to talk to you. People are coming up to you and you're kind of like, what's going on? That's what's going on. Advice. We have the Nine of Wands with the Emperor. So, Scorpio. Oh, wow. This person's energy is strong. Whew. Scorpio, there is someone that is very focused on you. I feel like there's a part of this person that a lot of people don't know. I feel like, oh no. Okay. The energy that I'm reading off of this person is it's like they're looking at you like, I know that's not my Scorpio, getting healthy, attracting people, doing better. I know that's not what's happening right now. And it's almost like this person wants to come in and dump all their toxicity directly into your lap and be like, oh, you fixed yourself? You fixed yourself? Yeah? Yeah? Well, here, fix this. And like, no. I mean, I'm not telling you not to, right? It just like, okay. I don't understand that. And that's why I'm floundering. Sorry, guys. I feel like at the end of the day, what this person's heart wants, I just realized you can't see these cards. Oh my gosh. I feel like at the end of the day, what this person's heart wants is you and to be in an actual relationship with you. But it's almost like they don't even know how to get that. They don't know how to do that. I feel like it's almost like they might be intimidated by the changes that you have made. So it's like they want something different than what the two of you had before, but they're coming in. It's like they're coming in with a different energy, but the second before they get close enough to you to talk to you, they flip into that previous energy that the two of you had. And I mean, I'm going to be honest, I feel like it's kind of a shame. It also feels like there's, they feel like they can awaken in you something that they're under the impression has, disappeared or gone to sleep. It's almost like whatever that emotional intensity is, just for the example, okay? It's almost like whatever that, how do I say this? Whatever emotional intensity that is now being presented as something a little bit softer, this person, it's like they can see that it's still in there and they want to interact with that part of you. And they, from what I'm seeing here, Scorpio, they seem to think that that's their in with you, is to revert back to that emotional intensity one way or another to get your attention, to get you back to the way, it's like to get back to the way that the two of you were when there was still an innocence between you. I feel like there was an innocence about you, but they knew what was up. So That's the reading for today, Scorpio. If this reading resonated, I hope it was helpful. If you made it to the end of this read with all of my floundering, thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you guys. I have for those of you that are new here, welcome. I usually try to upload twice a week, once during the week for a little bit of a longer read, and then some mini love reads coming out on Sundays. So those will be out this Sunday, and then next week will be the November 2023 monthly love reads. So that is it for today. I love you guys, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Much love. Bye.